Hey everybody, this is Trevor, and thank you for coming to my channel, Pioneer Spirit. More Israel talk today. It's important. It's out there, and all angles need to be discussed. So, I want to talk about the right to bear arms. I've talked about this plenty of times on my channel. I feel that every citizen has the right to bear arms. And obviously, you can point out many different places, gun-free zones. Gun-free zones are where terrorists go to hurt people, to commit crimes against humanity. Places where they do openly and conceal firearms, terrorists tend to avoid, such as police stations. I can't recall in my almost 51 years of being alive where a terrorist attacked a police station. It just doesn't happen because guess what? You're a terrorist and you attack a police station, you're not going to, you're going to be deleted fairly quickly, okay? So recently, the politicians of Israel have come out and said, "Hey, we now want as many as civilians, Israeli citizens, to be armed as possible." So I'm like, "Oh my God! You know what? You're late. You're late to the game, Israeli government, but that's fine. Okay, we'll." Should I say? Okay, fine. Late to the game, but that's fine. We'll accept that. Okay, which just admits the politicians have admitted to the fact that they can't be there on time. Okay, the Israeli Defense Force, commonly known as the IDF, and the Israeli police, Mossad, all the armed Israeli organizations were unable to protect the Israeli people, the Israeli citizens. Okay, now here's another interesting fact: is Israel, the Israeli citizens, only 2% of the population own firearms. Okay, I was shocked to hear that. In fact, I was shocked to hear that the Israel has stricter gun laws than Canada. And myself, as being a Canadian who's a restricted firearms owner, can tell you right now that the gun laws in Canada are very strict. Okay, that just I call for a Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, like they do have in the United States, or at least most places like the places in the United States. Again, I pointed out before places that have strict gun laws in the U.S., which I don't understand because it doesn't matter where you're living within the bailiwick of the United States, you have the right to bear arms. That should be. You live in New York City or you live in some little town in Nebraska. You both have the same constitutional right to bear arms, as I see it. But many would point out that that's not how it is. But that's neither here or there. So, yeah, Israel is now, the politicians are saying, "Hey, come on, guys. Come on, citizens. We want you armed now." So, again, late to the game, but very positive. Very positive, because I'm going to take that situation where the look mostly younger people, Israelis, were having an event, a concert, dance party. Several hundred people were just having fun, and you can see in the videos in the background Hamas terrorists, and they are terrorists. They're flying in on. I don't know. They're just like parasails or whatever. I've looked at them before. I think they're quite. They look fun, but terrorists have found another use for these motor fan. I can't even think of the name of them right now. But basically, two guys can sit in a chair and they have a giant fan on their back, propeller, gas-powered engine, and you can get up in the paragliding, parasailing. I don't know what. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you just imagine that. They flew in. They flew in on these devices and landed down, and reports are several hundred of these people at this event were just mowed down. And you can. Hey, let's say 30 guys landed on those 200 to 300 people or 400, how many ever it was. You can just delete them. Commit crimes against humanity at your will because you have firearms. Now, at that event in Israel, dance party, whatever it was, had the citizens of Israel had the right to bear arms, that situation, and all throughout Israel, on the border of Israel and the Gaza Strip, would have been a completely different situation. Had the citizens of Israel had the right to bear arms, or even some kind of relaxed gun laws where they could at least have them in their home. From what I gather, only 2%. Well, this is reported. 2% of Israel citizens own firearms, and that's it. So I think at this event, let's say they had the right to bear arms, even if I don't know, out of 200 people, even if 20 of them had concealed firearms, handguns, they could have at least set up a line and gathered themselves together and at least allowed people to escape. Maybe those 20 people that had handguns, obviously going up against terrorists who have fully automatic, government military style weapons. You're not going to stop them, but perhaps you could hold them off. 20 people with, just semi-automatic pistols, revolvers, anything. Okay, that would have it. Perhaps you could fight back. Okay, you're going to fight back, but they couldn't. You can't fight back. You have to run, and in the chase, they just get shot down. That goes for anyone. That could be anyone around the world. When you live in a country that doesn't have the right to bear arms, your right to life is it's whoever wants to take it away can, and they will, at their whims. And I was also surprised to learn, I was just so shocked to learn that Israel doesn't have their citizens armed better, especially living, in a region that at any moment can be attacked. So, and I'm also surprised, there's so much I'm surprised about this whole situation. I don't want to get too much into, conspiracy theories about the whole thing, but there are people questioning, where was the IDF, Israeli police, Mossad? Where were they that day? I don't know. Israel certainly has spent a ton of money, whether theirs or money from other countries, to build things such as the Iron Dome, which is supposed to, when Hamas, Hezbollah, any terrorist organization fires rockets, missiles into Israel territory, the Iron Dome can shoot it down. Well, apparently that wasn't really working that day. So when the government can't protect you, okay, listen to this really closely.
When the government can't protect you,
it's up to the citizens to be able to protect themselves, okay? Like when something bad is happening in your home, at a concert, wherever, to get the police there to help you, it takes too long. So that's why I am an advocate for citizens to have the right to bear arms. Because again, at that the homes that the Hamas terrorists broke into, I mean, the people were defenseless in there. What are you going to do? Pull out a kitchen knife to defend yourself? A 2x4? What? No. Someone breaks into your house. You need to be able to take whatever means necessary to defend yourself. Okay. But when you're hamstringed by not having the right to self-preservation, by owning a firearm, I mean, you're just inviting people into your house to do crimes against humanity against you. And speaking, obviously Israel, I believe, should be a one Jewish state. It's shocking too that I'm really shocked about their gun laws in Israel, considering when you go back in time. Let's go back in time here. Let's go back to Germany, World War II. I've maintained this for years, and I'll continue to maintain this. Had the Jews in Germany been able to have firearms, it would have been a heck of a different story. Okay? The Holocaust, the genocide against the Jewish people committed by Nazis, such as the one that was allowed into the fine House of Commons here by Justin Trudeau, the Waffen SS Ukrainian soldier. Perhaps the Jewish people, they've been armed. It would have been a heck of a different story, kicking in the front door, when on the other side of that door, Jewish grandma and grandpa are sitting there with, their firearm, and mom and dad and maybe their teenage son are all sitting there fully armed. Well, it would have been hard to remove people from their homes when they are armed. Okay? At least give people the goddamn natural-born right to defend themselves so they don't have to die kneeling, begging for their life. God, I'd rather die, defending myself with a firearm than I would just crying. And this is how the Israelis, for 80 years they've dealt with it. They dealt with this in Germany, and then to not allow themselves to have the right to bear arms in Israel, complete shock to me. Absolute complete shock. I just assumed that the Israeli citizens were, they had, at least semi-auto rifles in their homes, shotguns, handguns. I thought they would. But tragedy. So tragedy. And I'm glad at least the politicians are, at least in the sense, recognizing that, look, we can't be there all the time. And that is the common sense argument that's always made. The police can't be there. It takes them, by the time they get to your home or wherever to help you, a crime against humanity has been committed against you. So I'm hoping that the citizens of Israel now are going to go out, arm themselves, train themselves. Okay, you have to go and train with the firearm. You have to know how to properly use it, the basics, finger off the trigger. Don't point the gun at anything unless that's the target you're wanting to hit, okay? Like, train people. So that these things don't happen. Okay? Crimes against humanity happen in gun-free zones. When you live in a gun-free zone, man, you're just asking for the people who have guns to come and hurt you, okay? People who have guns, whether it's, legally or illegally, and they want to hurt you, and they decide that a gun is the way to do it, they'll do it to you. That's just the facts, folks. And the fact is that when the good citizen is armed, the bad people have difficult times in rounding you up and putting you on the goddamn train. I swear, I hope I'm still saying I'm disappointed that the Israeli citizens didn't have the right to bear arms, or at least some kind of firearm. I'm shocked. I'm shocked to find out they have worse firearms laws than Canadians do, okay? But let's hope that from now on that this will change in Israel. Because I condemn 100% wholly the Hamas terrorist attacks on the Israelis. Um, I believe in every citizen on this earth has the right to bear arms because of the fact that people like Hamas, criminal organizations, even organizations such as government have their heavily armed members, their organizations, soldiers and police. Citizens too should have the right to bear arms. Okay? And I know people are, well, you can't carry military grade. I'll tell you what, even in the United States, the citizen does not carry anything near what the police and military can have, but at least they have, that right to bear arms in most places. Obviously, it doesn't seem to work in Chicago, New York, LA, but those are the places you should be being able to conceal carry because crime happens there. And guess what? Crime won't happen when the criminals know that the good citizens are armed. I don't know. I just this really it's a huge wake up call. If you are anti-gun for citizenship to own, citizens to, I hope that you look at this and go, wow, if those Israeli citizens had been armed, maybe that wouldn't have happened so badly. Maybe they couldn't have been able. Maybe the Hamas terrorists couldn't have dragged those people out of their home. Even an 85-year-old Israeli in a wheelchair, an old fella, at least had a handgun. He could have at least shot back and helped protect himself and his family. But you can't. You can't do that. Someone comes at you with a gun. They tell you to do what you do. Well, I know you can bum rush them, I guess, but you're probably probably not gonna end up very good for you. But it would end up good for you is if you were armed. So I am going 100% on this and saying, had the Israeli people had the right to bear arms, this situation would have been at least 50% of the crimes against humanity would have been reduced, on the Israelis. So I hope from now on, if you're an Israeli, listen to this, you've got to do what it takes to get the word out. You need the right to bear arms. Any citizen around the world, good citizen watching me right now, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. I've been talking about this in Canada for years now. And as a Canadian firearms owner, I mean, I'm just, all I can do, hunting, and sport shooting. That's all we're allowed to do in Canada. And, I adhere to the laws of Canada, but that doesn't mean I can't talk out against them unless the Canadian government wants to Socrates me and, shut me up sort of thing. That's one reason why too. I would love to get the fuck out of Canada and move to the United States and become a United States citizen. God damn, I would do that in a heartbeat. And and hopefully and just so that I could enjoy the right to bear arms and live in a place where I could do that. Like police officers anywhere around the world, you don't send them out of the police station without a gun. You give them a firearm. They can't, and in the hopes that, if they have a 30-year career, hope that they don't pull it. Well, same with a good citizen. You don't want to pull your gun. But if a situation arises where you have to, then you've got it. So, yeah, Israel, you got to make a move on that ability to arm your citizens. It is good. I'm glad now the politicians are recognizing that, because you need that, because it's going to cut down on the bad guys from getting to your citizens, okay? All right, listen, I don't know. I hope everyone can stay free, and I hope everyone's well, but god damn, the problems of the world just seem to get, the older I get, they just mount even more and more, but that's why I'm here to talk about them. I hope you enjoy everything I talk about. If you don't, leave a comment below. Please subscribe, hit bell notifications, follow my channel, like, again, comment, good or bad, support me with positive comments, even, constructive criticism comments. Do that as well, too. I want to know if what I'm saying is you could add to it, change my mind. Like the Steven Crowder meme. Change my mind. So that's where I'm standing right now. Every good citizen on this earth has the right to bear arms, and I hope that the gun laws are rapidly changed in Israel and everywhere around the world, so it's more like an American two-style right to bear arms. Okay? Listen, good people, have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.